In this episode, I unravel the brutal grind of making money from zilch. Alex Hormozi crashes on a gym floor like a broke bear in accidental hibernation. And you start questioning whether escaping the rat race requires anything more than refusing to join a pyramid scheme your cousin swears is different this time. Listen close. The path to real wealth isn't paved with get-rich-quick fairy tales. It's forged in the shadows, in failure, grit, and decisions most people avoid. Today, we dive into Alex Hormozi, the guy who turned sleeping on a sweaty gym floor into the prologue of a multi-million-dollar empire. No silver spoons or viral shortcuts, just raw tactics to build from zero. If you've ever stared at an empty bank account wondering where it all went wrong, this is your wake-up call. Buckle up. We're peeling back the layers. Lesson 1. Use what you already know. Imagine this. You're not starting from scratch. You're standing on a gold mine you barely notice. Hormozi didn't pretend he'd reinvent an industry. He was already neck-deep in fitness, grinding as a trainer, seeing firsthand how gyms lived and died. He took the same skill that paid his rent and flipped it into his first business. We chase shiny ideas, but real progress comes from monetizing what we already do well. It's not about passion projects that evaporate quickly. It's about using the value you already exchange. Look at his early days, broke, stubborn, and squeezing every drop of knowledge he had to help failing gyms turn chaos into cash. Your job isn't a cage, it's the ladder. Without revenue as foundation, ideas are just noise. The irony? We idolize overnight successes, yet Hormozi's empire started with the ordinary. He didn't invent fitness. He simply mastered selling it. This lesson asks you to look inward before wandering into the desert of distractions.
And so those are the trades. And I think in the beginning, the trades are sometimes, more emotional because in the beginning, it's more, my friends will think this is weird. They don't want to get this text. What if someone says, oh yeah, you're starting your business, I forgot. Or, oh, you're not coming out with us. Are you really doing that thing again? Dude, it's not going to, hey man, I love you, man. I'm supporting you, right? Or your mom's like, are you really going to pursue podcasting as a thing? Right? Right? Yeah. I think the first rule of entrepreneurship is use what you got. Right? It's not waiting for some perfect condition because starting is the perfect condition.
Yeah. Lesson 2. The 4 ways to get clients. In the architecture of achievement, getting clients isn't mystical, it's mechanical. Warm outreach, cold outreach, content, or ads. That's the entire universe. After launching his gym, Hormozi didn't meditate on customers. He went after them. He reached out to people he knew, contacted strangers, created content long before anyone cared, and reinvested meaningful profit back into ads until the machine sustained itself. Warm outreach taps those who already know your competence. Cold outreach tests your courage. Messages, calls, emails, all the discomfort people avoid. Content lets strangers trust you without meeting you. Ads scale everything once the system works. We complicate this because avoidance looks productive. Choose one door and walk through it until it cracks open. Fragmented effort builds regret, not clients.
So what's really nice from the profession of the 3 is by far the fastest angle.
I agree.
For sure. Because you already have the thing that's valuable. Because you already do exchange it for money. And so the only thing you actually have to add at that point is promotion and conversion. So you have to say, how do I let people know about this thing that I'm doing? And secondarily, how do I get these people, once they find out, to give me money, right? And so from a letting people know about it, I gave 1 of 8 ways of letting people know. So there's warm outreach, so that's letting people know one-on-one about your stuff. There's cold outreach, which is one-on-one to strangers. You've got paid ads, right, which you can run on any platform, or you've got posting content. Those are the only 4 things that one person can do.
Lesson 3. Sell with the closer framework. Sales isn't manipulation, it's structure. Hormozi's closer framework turns chaotic conversations into predictable outcomes. Clarify, label, overview, sell, explain, reinforce. A sequence built to create clarity. He built it in the trenches, gym to gym, deal to deal, rejection after rejection until patterns sharpened. Clarify why they're here. Label their problem clearly, sometimes better than they can. Overview what they've already tried. Sell the future they actually want. Explain the plan to get them there. Reinforce the decision so fear doesn't undo it. If you can describe someone's problem with precision, they trust your solution. That mindset carried him from gym consulting into acquisition.com at a bigger scale. We fear sales because we fear honesty, with ourselves and with others. But sales is helping someone walk through a door that's been open the whole time. Without structure, emotion hijacks the moment and opportunity slips away.
Right, and so that process at the most basic level is going to be a conversation that leads to a conversion. Right, and so I have a very simple framework that I encourage people who are starting out to follow, which I call CLOSER. And so it's an acronym, so it's easy to remember. So C stands for clarify, which you begin the conversation by like, hey, why'd you respond to my thing? Right, and the nice thing is that whenever you promote, you only are really going to have a conversation with someone who engages back. Right, so you always have the reason why right at the front. So what made you comment on my post? What made you DM me after that? What made you respond to my ad? What made you even respond to my original message or call? Right, so that you have that reason. So what made you do that? Clarify. Then you have L, which is you label them with a problem. So okay, so what I'm hearing is this is a problem, and this is what you're trying to solve. Does that sound about right? Okay, cool. Then we go to O, which is overview their past experiences. And so here we're simply asking them more or less the same 4 questions, which is, okay, what have you done so far? How did that work for you? What was good? What was bad? And then we try and tie that to our solution, the pieces that we can solve. It's like, oh, well, I think you might like this because we have this other element. I'll get to that later, but okay, this is great. What else have you done? What else have you done? And so that's kind of the pain cycle. And the reason the pain cycle is important is because in order to increase motivation in the short term, we have to basically expand the deprivation around the thing that they want. And so we have to increase its priority in the short term to get them to take action. And that's why that cycle is so important. The fourth is S, which is we sell the vacation. And so we want to talk about the outcomes, about what the experience is going to be like once the problem's solved, rather than just having some long-winded pitch. And what's very interesting about the sell portion is that most people talk way too much. We try and get it to under 320 words. So it doesn't, like, people, if you can very accurately describe someone's existing condition to them and say, so it sounds like you're struggling with this, and it sounds like you're struggling with this, and it sounds like you're struggling with this, and if we solve this one, this is what unlocks. We solve this one, this is what unlocks, and we solve this one unlocks. Is that about right? They're like, yeah, it's like, we can totally help you.
Lesson 4, the 10 by 10 method. True certainty isn't purchased, it's forged. Hormozi's 10 by 10 method, give 10 people 10 hours, feels backwards, but it's the fastest path to clarity. He applied this with gym owners while literally sleeping on the floor of his own gym. Those 10-hour immersions weren't charity, they were research labs. Every mistake revealed a flaw. Every improvement sharpened the system. Every testimonial added credibility. We crave scalability, but scalability requires precision. Precision requires repetition. Repetition requires getting your hands dirty longer than your ego prefers. Immerse in people's problems, and you'll learn more than any course could teach you. This is the part most people avoid, which is exactly why most people stall.
So I'm going to give you something super tactile for the audience.
Yeah, please.
Just 10 by 10. So give 10 people 10 hours. And so you can say, hey, I'm going to do 10 hours of work for free. That is a really compelling offer, and you're going to do it one-on-one and ideally with them. And so if you want to build the website, build it in front of them for the 10 hours so they can give you real-time feedback. If you want to, write email copy, you still meet with them once a week, or not, ideally multiple times a week during that, so you can pay down the 10 hours faster. And if you're worried, you can do 5 people for 5 hours. That matters less, but it's more that one-on-one, so the least scalable thing possible, and it's free labor that they can track. The reason that's such a compelling offer is that everyone, even in every country, even minimum wage has value.
Lesson 5. Testimonials make more money than early payments. In the economy of trust, proof beats profit, especially early on. Hormozi insists a testimonial is worth more than your first $1,000. He built Gym Launch on early clients who got real results and then talked loudly about them. One success story turned into 2, 2 into 10, 10 into a wave of referrals no ad could replicate. We obsess over quick revenue and forget that proof compounds, money fades, reputation amplifies. Social proof shortens sales cycles and works while you sleep. Early revenue feeds your ego. Testimonials feed your business.
That's now absolute. Like, I'll say it differently. A business owner, they do illegally, and so therefore they're very willing to pay people to leave them testimonials. And so if you'd be willing to pay $500 to get an amazing testimonial, then they've paid you that $500. But I promise you, those first 5-10 reviews will make you so much more than they could ever have paid you and not given you a testimonial. Yeah. So if we flip it and say, hey, would you rather get $1,000 from this person and have them not leave a review versus free and a glowing review? I promise you, you will make so much more from one glowing review than you will from the $1,000 long term. Yeah. So you're just building up the stockpile, the foundation, to then build whatever you want to build on top of it.
Yeah. The no decision wardrobe. All right, here's the bonus chapter nobody expected. Alex Hormozi's wardrobe is basically a psychological experiment disguised as clothing. This man eliminated so many daily decisions that even his socks started feeling insecure. He wears the same style of shirts, the same style of shorts, and shoes that look unionized around zero friction. It's not fashion, it's efficiency with a bench press. Picture it. While normal people debate colors, fabrics, and matching shades, Hormozi wakes up and vaporizes the entire problem by picking the same outfit again and again. The real mystery isn't how he built an 8-figure empire, it's whether his socks ever participate in his success. Did they retire? Were they fired for causing excess load? Nobody knows. But here's what we do know. If you simplify your wardrobe until accessories disappear, you're no longer dressing, you're optimizing. Hormozi didn't just declutter his closet, he performed a hostile takeover on decision-making. And somehow, it works. The man turned not choosing outfits into a competitive advantage. So here it is, the unpolished truth from Hormozi's ruthless playbook. Making money from zero isn't about luck, it's about direction. Use what you already know. Choose one of the 4 paths to get clients and commit to it. Sell with structure instead of hope. Work with real people until your offer becomes undeniable. Treat testimonials like compound interest. Now ask yourself, which of these will you actually act on tomorrow? Drop your answer in the comments. If this sparks something, hit subscribe for more sharp insight. See you in the next dose.